Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. Sorry, I'm 2 minutes late. Let's put what we're going to be talking about. Last week, we talked about it is well in my soul, well in my mind, well in my body. Today, we're going to be talking about gratitude for the restructure. Gratitude for restructuring. Gratitude for restructure. I apologize if there's no music. But as you can see, my background, I am not at home. I am down to the hospital visiting the sick and shut in. And so I didn't have time to get home and get into the healing room, but this is what commitment looks like. We go live wherever we were. I knew that it was a possibility that I was going to sit up here, give my sister some time for her to get her life together and not rush her because she really does take care of the bulk of my mother's needs. And so I said the least I can do is sit here and let her take a shower and get together. So we're just gonna sit here for a few minutes. I'm gonna share with you what I have, and then I'm gonna kiss Mo and get on back home. So, and I wasn't really feeling well myself yesterday, and so I'm feeling much better. My fever broke. I was in that heat on Saturday at the retreat for my chapter, and got a little sick. So I said, "Oh goodness, goodness." And so I said, let me get myself together. So come on in, come on in, come on in. I know y'all are used to music, but you don't have music today, and I don't even have a voice to even sing to you. I don't even have a voice to sing to you tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm sitting here looking like a vagabond. Let me put on a little lipstick or a little lip gloss or a little something. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. To whoever that is viewing, welcome. Go ahead and type in the chat. To those of you that are watching the replay, go ahead and type replay. For everybody else, let's get started. Prayers up for my mother, if you will. We had to bring her in on Saturday, and this is the life of, a daughter, spiritual guide, employee, mother, grandmother. It just looks like this. So let's get into it. Our topic is gratitude for restructure. Now, y'all know that I am painfully transparent. And I'm starting to realize now that that makes people uncomfortable. The reason why it makes people uncomfortable is because people have told themselves a lie and they live their lives based on lies. I live my life based on the truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly. When I'm on the mountaintop, I'm on the mountaintop. When I'm in the valley, I'm in the valley. When I'm in an unknown, I'm in an unknown. And I don't mind sharing that with you, sharing my process, sharing my learning so that you too can learn how to move through your healing phases much quicker. So I'm having to do a major financial restructure. And I was driving the other day, and the balance in my accounts, it just brought tears to my eyes. I think I cried for about 4 hours yesterday. And I think it was just a release of everything that's going on. My grandbaby, we had to put my mom in the hospital. Just a lot of things that are going on. And it's like you clear the way of some stuff, and then other stuff just takes the space. And so you never really feel like you've caught up. And so I'm having this whole financial issue, and health is one of the components that I teach inside of my coaching program. So I pulled out my own coaching script because, yes, I am my first client. And I asked myself, where are you struggling in your finances? And here's what I've come to realize. When I looked at my bill structure, 80% of my bills are for other people in my life. I'm not going to call out the other people in my life because I don't want to make people uncomfortable. But for other people that are in my life in various capacities. But Stephanie Wilson's bills, the bills that Stephanie Wilson has subscribed to, is less than 20% of the bill structure that I have in real life. And so I had to sit and look at how I've constructed my finances around other people in my life, around the trauma of those people in my life, trying to solve their problems, trying to be their landing pad, trying to be their launching pad in some instances, all kinds of things. And I had to come to the realization that my finances are messed because I've made decisions that put other people before what I needed. And it's not a right or wrong. It's not a woe is me. It's just this realization. Because what do I teach you? The life that you have is a culmination of the decisions that you've made. The decisions that you've made are based on the beliefs and the experiences that are running in your subconscious mind. Those experiences are informed by an identity. Those identities are structured by either met needs and unmet needs. I teach this inside of my membership that I'm restructuring and getting ready to relaunch. So I've had this epiphany that my finances are where they are because of the love. We're going to use love in quotes that I have for other people. Let me tell you something about love. Love is not depleting. Somebody put that in the comments. Love does not deplete. It does not. If we look at Corinthians and we look at the definition of what love is a lot of things, but it is not depleting. Real love replenishes. Real love, I think one of the scriptures says, love covers a multitude of sin. Love covers. Love is patient. Love is understanding. But what love is not broke. And love is not broken. Oh, somebody ought to hear me in here. Love is not broke and love is not broken. Love does not leave you depleted. That's the first thing I discovered. And so, what I was calling love was actually control. And here's how I got to that, because I was worried about the outcome instead of allowing the process to take place in at least 4 situations that I have significant financial responsibility for. And so I'm looking at the outcome and I'm trying to fund the outcome because we want a specific outcome instead of living in faith, moving in faith, living in love, and trusting God for the process. Oh, see, they don't want to hear this kind of teaching. They don't want to hear this kind of teaching. I'm going to give y'all the football season is why y'all not online tonight. But come on, catch this word. Come on, catch this word, because I promise you it'll bless you. Somebody type in the comments. So the first thing I love is love does not deplete. Love does not deplete. The second thing that I recognized is that at some point I've got to make a different decision if I want a different outcome. So that was my prayer. God, help me restructure my finances so that I can, invest in the things that I want to invest in, my business, my community, travel, the things that Stephanie wants to do. Help me get out of the rat race of taking care of everybody that's in my life, and I'm being the last one to be served from the money that I make. How ludicrous is that? But I've been living this way for years, decades, if you really want to know the truth. And so the reason why the title of this lesson is Be Gratitude for the Restructure is because I was thinking that the restructure was going to come one way. Well, Lord, just let me walk into some money. Give me an abundance of money so that I can wipe out all the debt, move around. And God said, now, why would I do that? You've already had an abundance and you keep taking the abundance and spending it on other people. You asked me to get you out. You asked me to restructure, and I said yes to a restructure. I didn't say yes to a bailout. Oh, somebody type that. In this particular situation, I prayed for a restructure and God said, yes, I will absolutely help you with a restructure, but I'm not going to bail you out. Stop running from the decisions that you have made. That's the second thing I had to learn. The first thing was that love does not deplete. And so I was not giving to these situations out of love. Not saying that I didn't love the people that I was doing it for, but my reason was not love. My reason was control. So I was funding a specific outcome. The second thing I recognize is that in order for me to restructure, I've got to make different decisions. And so getting a bailout is not always the answer. And so in this particular situation, I've got to restructure. Now, restructure means you take the same pot of money that you have when you gave to all these other people, and you're going to take that same money and you're going to reallocate those funds to the things that God has called you to do, to the things that serve you, to the things that push you forward, to the things that bring you comfort. And all of these other people, leave it to God and give it to God. You can give to it, but you can't hold it and then hold you, because God said, I'm God. I'm not going to move you out of the way. I'm just going to ask. I'm going to wait for you to ask for me to come in and help you and give you the strategies, come into your consciousness and give you the strategies to help you to be able to restructure things so that everybody gets what they need. Everybody leans on God, the source, for what they need. See, I had put myself in God's place in these people's area of my life. And my money ain't that long. My money not long like God money. Somebody ought to hear me in here. That's not my role. And so the third thing I learned was when you get out of pocket, you get misaligned. And so when you get out of pocket and you start investing in things that God didn't tell you to invest in, and you start making moves that God didn't tell you to move, when you get out of pocket, you get out of alignment. So the third thing I had to come to understand was that I'm out of alignment because I'm trying to fund a specific outcome. That's not how faith works. That's not how consciousness works. That's not how any of this works. And so now that I've got the clarity that those people are their own people and they're responsible for their own lives, now the pressure is off of me to fund those outcomes. Now I can take that same money and I can restructure that money, and I can have peace and I can have calmness, and I can trust that God is going to take care of those people that I'm taking my hands off, those people that I'm taking my funding from. And so I'm sitting here as I'm trying to sit here and take care of my mother, and I'm very committed to this community. I just wanted to share with a couple of people here today. Be grateful for the restructure. And sometimes the restructure is uncomfortable. Sometimes the restructure, you didn't ask for it. I asked for mine. But sometimes the way in which we have to change may not align with how we think. But if you trust God and if you know God, and if you believe that what He has for you is for you and your journey, then He will give you the answers. He will give you the peace that you need. So the first thing, again, let me see if I can recap this, is love does not deplete. I was not doing that because of love. I love the people that were in my life, but I was doing it to fund an outcome. The second thing is the decision. I had to make a different decision. Am I going to be God, or am I going to be Stephanie and move out of the way and let God be God and Stephanie be Stephanie and work on these finances? And the third thing, misalignment. When you get out of pocket, you're misaligned. And so I hope that this message, and y'all know I don't really talk about money. It's not really an area, but it is an area that we talk about inside of my membership. So with that being said, and if y'all hear that little beeping in the background, that's the people coming to take care of mama. But with that in the background, with that being said, I'm going to invite you to come into our collective that we're building, the ConquerHER Collective. I went on, broke down, and started a Facebook group. God help me. But I'm being obedient, and it's growing and it's flourishing. I'm working on our first event inside of the group. I'm not going to say the name here. You got to be in the group so you can get all of the details. I'm working on revamping our membership, because as we move into Q4 and we move into 2026, I want to be able to serve you in the way that best fits you. If you haven't taken my survey, go into the group. The survey is there. Go on my page and take the quick 3-minute survey to let me know how to serve you. And if you're struggling in the area of your money, see, healing happens across all of the spectrums of our life. Healing doesn't just happen in your emotion, it doesn't just happen in your relationships, it doesn't just happen in your body, it happens in your money too. The relationship you have with your money affects all of the other areas of your life. And I'm recognizing that the pressure that I'm taking off of myself by taking myself out of the financial situations of the people that I love in my life, that pressure then frees up the space for me to then invest in relationships, the space to then focus on my health, the space to then focus on my own emotional continued evolution. See how that works? And it creates a balance across all of the spectrum of our life. So I see y'all late. It's 8:47 and now y'all just want to hop on. Let me see who on here. Come on in the chat so I can see who late. Hey Cheryl. Blessings to you too, honey. Blessings to you too. I need to go and check and see if this is flowing into the group because I went and set it up so that I can go live into the group because we're going to be transitioning. Healing Room is going to be transitioning into the ConquerHER Collective by the end of Q4. And so I'll go back and check that. You go back to the beginning. This is about your wealth and your finances and making sure that you are healthy in your decision making. Learn from me. Take your hand off of the other people that you are not responsible for. Let them go through their own situation. Let them come to know God and restructure your finances so that what God has called you to do, you are in position to do it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this lesson. I am sorry that I'm not going as long as I typically go, but I want to give the nurses the room, and I want to be able to transition with my sister because I've been here for the majority of today. Pray for my family, pray for my mother, and you all be blessed. Next week, same bat channel, same bat station, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll sit here together and we'll heal together. Love you so much. See you next week. Bye.